I think you will hear some more details in the coming days, specifically about what kind of satellite data they use to really confirm the track of the airplane. I know they've spent a lot of time recently going over that, but people have to understand this is very much like a criminal investigation. All leads are followed until they run out, and the most probable leads are the ones that are focused on. Now they'll be able to focus all their activity on a specific area since these other leads have played out.
Here's another question. If we can establish conclusively, or if the Inmarsat data suggest fairly conclusively that the plane took a southern route towards the southern Indian Ocean off of the many thousands of kilometers off the Australian coast, John, is there any way we can determine why? There's no airport nearby, no islands nearby, nothing. It's empty ocean for thousands and thousands of kilometers.
Well, what it does rule out is that they were attempting to go land the airplane somewhere. So whether it was, and again, everything's still on the table in terms of what would cause them to turn that way. But what you know is nobody turned that way intentionally to go land the airplane. Because there is nothing out there. So it brings you back to some of the theories around either an airplane that the pilots couldn't control because of incapacitation, or potentially the pilots themselves steering the airplane down there for some unknown reason.
Do you think at this point, John, given the vastness of that part of the Indian Ocean, there's a chance that investigators are ever going to recover the black boxes?
Well, I do think they'll recover them. I think there's a good chance. There are a couple reasons. One is the 30-minute life of the battery is a specification life. If the battery had been serviced recently, if it was, depending on the charge and how old it was, it could last longer than that, number one. And another, doing a lot of both air. You hear a lot about the air search, but there's also a surface search underway to listen to the pinger. And I would bet that there's some underwater machines, submarines, et cetera, being used to try to find the pinger. Big objects like engines tend to stay intact and are easier to pick out, like they found them with the Air France accident.